This is a 1987 fully electric Toyota pickup truck. It goes 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, and it is fully off-road capable. We've been calling this one the Back to the Future build. This is very similar to the truck that Marty McFly had.
So at that time, this was like the coolest truck. I still think this is one of the coolest trucks out there.
Check out that 4x4. That is hot.
Okay, back her up.
Someday, Jennifer. Someday.
Today we have something special where future meets past. It's got the rugged charm of the 1980s, but we're gonna bring it back to the future.
Does it run like on regular unleaded gasoline?
Unfortunately, no. It requires something with a little more kick.
We're gonna take this pure electric. A flux capacitor might not be involved, but it's gonna be something really cool. So from old school engine to high-tech motor, we are going full throttle into the electric age. It's a perfect combo of retro looks with futuristic tech. So we're talking smooth, silent power and insane torque. It's really gonna be a head turner and it's gonna be great fun to drive. So buckle up, hit the subscribe button as we're going 88 miles an hour. You won't wanna miss this ride as we go back to the future. So stay tuned for the full transformation.
So we did do some test driving before anything was done and got fully in the groove. We did utilize all 98 horsepower.
I mean, it feels like a truck. Handle bumps and nips just...
We brought it into the garage at my home to get things started. At this time I was out of work and trying to start my own company of electrifying cars.
Today we're gonna start diving in and getting this thing ready for electric power.
So first things first, got to take out that rusty old exhaust. Then time to drop the gas tank and take out the drive shafts. To complete the teardown, we took out the engine, transmission, and transfer case. Now it's time to build things back up. We started with the brakes. Without the engine, we needed to have electric power brakes. So we chose to adapt an eye booster to the current pedal box. This required a few modifications, some welding, and a coat of paint. A few small adjustments and some new brake lines. And now we have power brakes. On to power steering. We followed our process of scanning, 3D modeling, and designing new custom parts. This one was for the power steering mount. This one replaces the belt-driven power steering pump, and it is electric but still applies the hydraulic pressure needed for power steering.
So I just got home from work. I don't know, maybe like you guys, sometimes it's kind of late. And when it's late, sometimes being food is not top on your priority. But here's where our sponsor comes in. So Factor has chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. So Factor has really reduced the stress around cooking, planning, and even cleanup. This allows me to stay focused on the things that matter most to me. And right now you can get 50% off your first box plus daily greens. It's a once daily green drink that you'll actually look forward to drinking. And it's made with real veggies, which you might be missing in your diet. Smoky chicken breast, barbecue bacon burger, home-style chicken, and gravy, and garlic filet mignon and Parmesan tortellini. Eatin' fancy. Factor delivers fresh, chef-created, dietitian-approved meals straight to my doorstep. This is a great way to reduce any stress around preparing, meal prep, even cleaning up. And right now you get 50% off your first box, plus daily greens. It's a once daily green drink that you can actually look forward to drinking with real veggies and nutrients you might be missing in your regular diet. The best part about this is no prep, no cleanup, heat, eat, done in 2 minutes. 100 plus rotating weekly options. So it's got meals, salads, breakfasts, even shakes, all built for taste and nutrition. It's got a smart balance of carbs, healthy fats, and protein with at least 2 vegetables per meal. So go to factor75.com or click the link in the video description to get 50% off using code ElectricSupercarFDG. Then it was on to the powertrain. For this vehicle, we used a Tesla Model 3 rear performance motor with 300 horsepower. Our plan for this motor was to mount it transversely so that one output shaft would drive the rear differential, the other output shaft would drive the front differential. In order to do this, we needed a different gear ratio. For this one, we needed to actually separate it, do a gear swap. We also chose to add a limited slip differential.
And as we found out, heat can be your best friend to separate or join bearings and gears to shafts. So we got the old bearings and old gears off, and the new bearings and new gears on, along with the limited slip differential. Also, all your food does taste better after you cook some bearings. Once all the gearing and limited slip differential were in place, it was time to put the motor back together. Once the motor was back together, we needed to mount it. So again, with a scan, we put things in CAD, we drew up a plan to mount the motor in the center of the vehicle and got to fabricating. It was important to get this as high as possible so we didn't lose any breakover angle for off-roading. So once things were done, a coat of paint, then it was time to install the motor. With some sophisticated tools, we got the motor mounted. Then it was on to drive shafts. With a new motor and placement, we needed custom drive shafts, so we measured and got new drive shafts, one to connect to the front differential, the other to the rear differential. With the motor in place and the drive shafts mounted, all the drivetrain was ready to go. We just needed power. For power, we used some custom battery modules with 44 kilowatt hours of energy. We designed custom battery boxes to house all the modules, assembled them, and then we needed to fabricate some mounts. We did a split pack with one portion of the batteries in the front and another portion of the batteries in the rear. Once the mounts were fabricated, another coat of paint and the batteries could be installed. Lots of fasteners and had to make sure everything was tight and watertight. So then we mounted all the hardware so we could get it installed in the vehicle. You may notice at this point, we are in a new shop. I had turned my unemployment into the start of a business, even hired some employees. So with the battery packs installed, it was time to complete the wiring to see if we can get the motor to spin. We rolled it towards the garage just in case things didn't go well. We did have a lot of trial and error with the wiring, and you've got to have a lot of safety involved with high voltage. Damn it. Doesn't that sound like a fuse? So with a little bit of luck and a lot of effort, we did get the motor to spin. You'll see the output shaft spinning there. Holy! And that means, yes, we did have all-wheel drive, both front and rear. So with the drivetrain installed and now having the ability to move, it was down to cooling. So I had to do some fabrication, get some cooling in place. We also needed the ability to charge and mounted the batteries for good. Dialed in some settings, and then it was time for our first drive. And can I tell you, this thing picks up speed fast. At this period of time, we had the accelerator pedal mounted temporarily, so we could only give it about 50% throttle. We were still able to break traction with all four wheels. This thing moves. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So with it moving, we had to turn our attention to some details, like how to shift from forward to neutral to reverse. Came up with a design, had it laser cut, welded, mounted a car for some testing, and then a coat of paint. We assembled all the electronics that go along with it and put it in the car. And now we have a custom gear selector. We got it registered, so it was time to hit the road. First stop, a gas station. Nope. Needed a charging station. Let's see if it's working. Yep, it works with public charging. Boom, baby.
Boom, charging.
And it looks great to have an old truck like this at a public charging station. We did some 0 to 60 times with the original truck at about 13 seconds.
30. 60.
We are ready.
30.
The new truck with the new drivetrain, about 5 seconds. And some additional final touches like reupholstery, as well as the display. Got to make sure I have all the gauges and indicators. And then time for some more testing, like off-roading. Got to see how this thing handles in the mud, the snow, and some steep terrain.
Oh, he's slipping. He's slipping. Oh. Oh.
All right, the only thing I have for reference is my phone, the bubble level. So if I put it kind of on a flat surface in the car, it's saying we're at 32.4 degrees.
This thing is in its element. With all-wheel drive, it easily traversed all the things we could throw at it. And with some knobby tires, it did very well in the dirt. It is pretty epic to go silent through the trails. We took it up some of the steepest terrain we could find to the point where we could slip and throw rocks. It was time for some rugged upgrades. This included a skid plate. We wanted to protect the motor and all the cabling underneath from any road damage. So we've got a nice robust steel skid plate, and with a coat of paint and electric supercar logo, the skid plate was complete. This vehicle also got some rock rails on the sides, as well as a push bar up front. And the look is complete with some off-road lights. We used some truck bed liner to make all of them match. And then one of the last things we did is make a frunk, because no electric vehicle is complete without a frunk. We 3D printed a shape, and we fiberglassed it to be robust and complete. This will be great to store smaller items like duffel bags or your charger. And no vehicle's complete without some custom badging. And we even did some cup holders. No task is too big or too small for electric supercar. And that completes this build. We think it's pretty epic. Also, from starting in my own garage to having my own shop, we're making some big strides. If you'd like to make sure the company succeeds, you can join my Patreon account, which is a link in the video description below. This is where I share some behind the scenes footage, early videos. You can also do the thanks button to give a small donation, or just pick up a t-shirt at our online shop. Remember to subscribe, as we've got a lot of great builds in the works, as well as some on the way. That'll do it for this time. See you next time. Great Scott!
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott! I know this.
Did they really say that in the movies?
There you go.